selling drugs or using drugs and you've had some pretty traumatic experiences like that, but I mean, watching somebody shoot heroin in the hallway, so you've already created some, I'm guessing, pretty negative associations between people that use drugs being in your living space. So it's like you're getting to re-experience
that. And they were both male, and I'm trying to understand myself too. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Maybe I do need that help. Maybe I do need someone. So they were both male, both old. And the last thing that I found was that he has bed bugs. So on top of everything, now he brings that into the building, and I'm like, oh, I really,
icing on the cake.
I really hate him. Like, I really feel like I hate the fact that he's there. I don't care if he didn't have another. I'm there. Like, it is not my fault. I've done this again. Like, the bed bugs happened too with the other neighbor. So I'm like, oh no. You know, I don't want him here. I don't feel sorry for him. And it's not just possible that he's going to bring all this shit, you know, again. And I'm like, and I just can't stand him. I just cannot stand him. You know?
So, just to kind of summarize what we've talked about so far, what I've heard, the neighbor that you have brings is constantly high, smoking pot, has random people in your living space all the time. He's always outside. He's come to your door at random times throughout the night talking about your dog, and that seems really incongruent to you because it's like he makes all this noise and causes all this disturbance, and the ones that come talk to you about is your dog or your steps being too loud.
And the neighbors, they told me that they are bothered as well. I mean, it's not only me. So I guess
bothered by him as well.
Yes, like, so I think he knows that already. So he's trying to retaliate with something that is not even, you know. And I feel like because I'm the youngest there, actually, I feel like he might just think of me as a fool that he can, because he thinks he's a former lawyer and all this shit that he does. So I think that he's just trying to defend himself from what other people have said, because it's not only me that has complained, and I actually have not complained to the landlord. We talked to my neighbor, the girl that lives next to me, because she was freaking out too, you know. So he's like.
So you have talked to just to clarify, you have talked to the landlord?
No, the girl that lives next to me said something, and she mentioned me because we are both girls and we live alone, and she was having anxiety. She was having breakdowns. Okay, I'm not there yet, but she mentioned it. I didn't do anything officially. I did not even, but he thinks it's me. And
the neighbor thinks
yeah, because he's like, you know, trying to convince me of something, and it's just
so
I don't have time for that.
So she called the landlord. Has anything changed since then, or his behavior is the same?
Well, the only thing is that he smokes inside his apartment. But other than that,
is he still bringing people over all the time?
He threw a party Saturday.
And you said just recently he came and knocked on your door.
Last night.
Okay. Yeah.
Making me feel guilty for my dog. That's what got me. I was like, do not talk about my dog, you know, because
sure.
So I just cannot stand him, you know.
So what do you think would be the most effective use of our time together? Today, or you know, if you are to come again, or if it's just for today, what would be a win for you? To walk out of here with.
Well, I was holding on to things. I didn't really say everything.
Okay.
Because I was afraid that I was gonna say something really, really mean and really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to do that today, so I feel more like empty from that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were asking?
Really just gauging, what it is that you hope to get out of this.
Well, I want to understand why I feel so much anger.
Okay. So you want to get a better understanding of why you get such a reaction, or there's such a reaction created in you in regards to this guy.
Yeah, and I really don't want it. It's not a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for myself.
Sure.
But I can't help it. And it seems like not reacting is not working because it's building up. So.
Has it affected any other areas of your life? Holding on to that anger?
Well, yeah, stress, because I wake up and I'm stressed. Like today, I'm stressed just by thinking about what happened last night and by being afraid of my dog barking and he will say something when he's the one that actually needs to change his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it stresses me out. I go to work and I'm thinking about my dog, hoping that he will not move. I'm just afraid, I guess. That's all pretty much. That's it.
Okay. I guess what I'm trying to get a sense of is if it seems like the neighbor living next to you is going to be a constant, and you're more interested in learning how to better deal with it and manage the emotional experience you have around being around him, or I guess another option would be to take some type of steps towards moving somewhere else or getting him out of that space. Are those things that you'd considered before?
I thought about I don't think I should move. This is my thought, how I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be me.
That has to move.
No.
Okay.
So I have fear that I will end up moving again for the second time in 6 months, because this is how often this happens. So I'm really not doing anything wrong. I'm not, and I don't want to be the victim, but it should not be me. So yes, I wish he would move. I wish sometime that he would not be there. But I cannot just push him and by magic just disappear him. So I want to deal with just my stress of remembering him and having this feeling in my body of I just hate him. I don't want to live with that.
Yeah, I hear your anger and frustration around that. It's real. When you said it, I felt it.
You do?
Mm-hmm. What is it something that you've lived with for a long time, or is this something new? This anger, frustration feeling?
It happened. I've never felt this.
Okay, so this is
in a long time. Maybe never. And I've had this dog for. Maybe this is why I'm so protective over him too. For like, I rescued him. I found him outside and I took him in, and he's been through so much. He has attachment issues, so I'm working with my dog to keep him calm, because I understand that this might be an issue for other people around me. But I'm doing what I can, and it got personal to where, like, he's my baby. I'm taking care of him because he needs me. And it was not until someone actually threatened that special part of myself, which is my dog now, that I was like, you know, all over. Like, I can take more for myself, but when it came to someone that I love and that I'm like taking care of, and that, you know, I was like, oh no.
And is that related to the fear that you said you have, like when you leave the house, you wonder about your dog, hoping that he doesn't move or bark or anything? And the fear being what? Tell me a little bit about the.
Well, the fear is that, of course, for one, I hate to hear my dog freaking out, you know. But we're working on, you know, I talk to him and I tell him I will be back, because this is the main thing. He has been abandoned so many times that he does not understand the concept of coming back yet. So he is learning. He's better, but I do worry that I might lose him, you know, for something that
isn't your fault.
Right, like, and then I'm trying to avoid, you know, having. I mean, I'm trying to help my dog, but I'm afraid that because of that, I might have to give him away if he says something, my neighbor, when he's the one that actually needs to go. You know, it's like it doesn't have to be my dog, because I'm thinking about the harm that the dog and he does, and I have talked to my neighbors about my dog, and they understand. I mean, I told them, I'm sorry if this bothers you. I'm trying to do the best I can. They were like, it's okay, I understand. You know, it's a great thing that you did, and you know, I said it's not even about that, but I just want to make sure that you're okay with it. They're fine. It's just him.
Just the one neighbor.
So I'm like, how dare you say that I bother you with my steps? I weigh 135. I mean, my dog is this big.
Right.
When you're the one that he has invaded the entrance, the back entrance, so we have this much to walk up the stairs because he has all his shit outside. The people, and I'm like, if I have to leave my dog or take him somewhere for that, I'm afraid that I'm just gonna fucking lose it. This is what hurts the most.
Sure.
Thinking about having to just get rid of my dog for him. So.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. I know. It sounds like your dog's really important to you.
Yes.
And it would certainly be a blow if you had to get rid of him for, it sounds like something that's not really.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yours that you created.
Yeah. He's so innocent. He doesn't. How can you actually, someone that's happened? I don't know what I would do. I really don't. I'm gonna fucking lose it if I have to get rid of him because he's bothered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what?
It'd be painful.
I guess I needed to talk, huh?
Maybe so.
So what do you think about it? What can I do?
Could offer a couple of possible avenues to maybe explore. Is that okay?
I would love to. Because right now I'm like.
Okay. A couple of things that stick out to me is, pot's illegal. So.
It's legal?
Illegal. So, one potential is that when you know he is smoking pot or getting high, that you could call the police. Especially.
Even if he's inside now?
Mm-hmm.
Because someone told him, and he took his smoking and his friends inside. Right.
Well, you mentioned it sounded like he was also selling some of it to other people, right?
Well, I don't know if they were exchanging money, but at least he was inviting.
Sure. So there's other people over there smoking with him. Okay. Which, suggests that he has, more than just like a joint laying around in his house. If he's smoking that much with that many people.
Yeah.